I will be taking you on frequently asked questions. The questions that are booming my text messages, my WhatsApp, my emails, and the rest of them. So I want to take you on the frequently asked questions, but for now, just one. What is the question? One question I'm gonna take you on for today is, how do I start? How do I start is a major question everyone asks. Both those that are going to intensive or extensive or the medium scale farming, whether fish farming or poultry or snarery or grass cuttery or goat keeping or crops cultivation or piggery, they all ask, how do I start? Even you ask, how do I start? Because after watching this, you're gonna ask, how do I start? The major reason for this video is for me to ease the pressure of messages and emails I've been getting on this particular message. So after watching this, you no longer need to ask, how do I start? You should already know and have the idea on how to start. This will serve you for any area you want to find yourself. Okay, so the answer is this. First, number one, I will ask you, when you ask me this question, the first thing I'll ask you is, do you have a land space? Do you have a land space? This is the first question I will throw back at you. The land space or the space needed for the farming is very much necessary. If you don't have a space, there is no farming. If you don't have a land space, no matter how small it is, without a land space, there is no farming. Then, number two question I'll ask you is, do you have a water supply? Water supply is another major requirement for you starting this farming, no matter the type of section you want to enter. I will ask, do you have water supply? So these are the two questions I'm gonna give at you. And the number two is, your budget. So many persons find it difficult to disclose their budget, but if you don't tell me your budget, I will give you something that is higher than what you have, because I need money. I'm a consultant. If you consult me, I make money from you. So if you don't tell me, I won't know the particular amount you have, and I won't know what you have budgeted. Then when I give you something that is high, you will begin to invest money in the business, and on the long run, your money will just finish while you've not gone anywhere. Let's say you have money to raise 1,000 chicken. Then you refuse disclosing your budget to me. I'll give you a budget of 10,000 chickens, because by putting 10,000 chickens, I'll have to quote my consultational fee according to your capacity. So not disclosing your budget means you have it to spend. So I will have to give you a budget that suits me. So until when you tell me your budget, say, okay, you have $1,000. I'll tell you, okay, I'll have to calculate within me, draw out a business plan with my professionals, and it's okay. This is what $1,000 can come up with. With $1,000, you can pay me as a consultant. That is, if this land is available, the land and water supply, you can arrange for the habitation where your livestock will stay, either for the fish or for the birds or for grass cutter, or for crops cultivation. You want to do maize, you want to do cassava, you want to do pumpkin, or whatever you want to do. I will be able to determine what $1,000 will serve for. And this $1,000 will have to serve you from scratch to finishing until you harvest your farm. But when you fail to disclose your budget, that is when I'll have to give you higher quotation. Okay, so these are the number 3 things I'll have to ask you. Then when you continue asking, okay, for example, I want to do fish farming. Let's say you want to do fish, for example. The first thing you need to know is not just how much will it cost me for fish farming. The thing you need to know is how much will it cost me to raise per fish. So you've known the amount to raise per fish, you'll be able to know the quantity of fish that you can raise. Okay, so let's say you have this land, your land available. Sorry, you have your land available and you have your water supply available. Okay, and now you have your budget at hand. Your budget at hand. The construction. The construction, you have to negotiate with an engineer. I cannot tell you the particular amount for construction. Okay. Now, after construction is what I am certain about. After construction is stocking. You have to stock your farm. So we are taking fish, for example. When you want to buy a fish is cost either 10 naira or 25 naira or 50 naira, depending on the size of the fish. If you are buying fingerlings, 10 naira. If you are buying post fingerlings, that's 25 naira. If you are buying juveniles, they are 50 naira. So let's say you buy juveniles. Let's say you buy juveniles for 50 naira. You also calculate the medication. The medication of these fishes until maturity. You have to give them medication. So medication should be 10 naira. This is how much? 50 naira times, okay, let's say 1,000 fishes. 1,000 fishes. They buy 1,000 juveniles for 50k, 50,000 naira. Medication, that's 10 naira times 1,000 is 10,000. Okay, 10k. You can't actually depend on the general power supply, so you have to buy fuel. So you have fueling. For the period in which juveniles mature. I will explain that. So fueling, we have 20 naira. Okay. Transportation. You have transportation, 20 naira. That's 20 naira times 1,000 is 20k. You have contingencies, any other thing you are gonna do. Maybe 50 naira. and you have 50k again. The feeding is the most important. Feeding is actually the farming. Whether crops cultivation, if you are doing crops cultivation, the fertilization of the crops is a major thing in the farming. Then you have feeding. And so now you have 200 left, 200k. So you have to feed one fish with 200 naira. Let me explain the maturity period. From hatchery, if you buy fingerlings, at 10 naira, the maturity period of catfish is 7 months. So if you buy fingerlings that are 4 weeks already, which is 1 month, you have to raise them for another 6 months. Don't be deceived. You cannot buy fingerlings and you raise them for 3-4 months. No, it can never be done. You buy post fingerlings which are already 6 weeks, you have to raise them for 5 months and 2 weeks. When you buy juveniles which have stayed for 2 months in the hatchery, then you have to raise for 5 months. Then the reason why you can harvest fishes in 4-5 months is you have to support with boosters. So when you support them with boosters to boost their growth, you can harvest fingerlings in 5 months instead of 6 months. You can also harvest post fingerlings in 4 weeks plus, in 4 weeks and 2 weeks. Then you can harvest juveniles for 4 months instead of 5 months. 1,000 juveniles. 1,000 juveniles. 50,000. That's for 1,000 pieces. Now each of these fishes will cost you 10 naira for medication, that's 10k. For fueling, each of them will cost you 20 naira, that's 20k. For transportation, each of them will cost you 20 naira, that's 20k. For contingencies, each of them 50 naira, 50k again. Then for feeding, each of them will take 200 naira. So mature size of 1 kg to 1.5 kg. Okay, to 1 kg to 1.5 kg per libitum. Okay, libitum is the term used for weight. So we can also say per kg or per libitum. When you add all this together, that means it will take you 200, 250, 270, 290, 300, 350. 350 naira to raise per fish, multiplied by the number you are interested in raising. So that will determine how much do you have, what is your budget for farming. So when you are able to know this, you'll be able to say, okay, this is the amount I have. I can actually go for 100k fishes. I can actually go for only 100 pieces of fish. This also applies to other livestock. Like for birds, you have certain species of birds. You have broiler, layer, noilers. It depends. Each of them has particular amount to raise to maturity. So how do I start is the most frequently asked questions. Now that you've had the idea, I guess I'll have some fresh air. Reach me on 08067717827. Visit www.sifarms.com. Send me a WhatsApp message I'll be ready to reply you and as well give you all necessary guidelines you need. I remain Samuel Robinson, the CEO, Samjiri Integrated Farms. The profitability in agriculture depends on the managerial input invested. Thank you.